So it's a Sunday afternoon and I'm feeling pretty lazy Sunday days and pretty cozy and snug in my big fluffy onesie. That's the vibe I'm rolling for the moment. So yeah, I'm trying to take it easy at the moment and just enjoy this very chilly, very grey Sunday afternoon. I wanted to speak a little bit about the language of the heart. Now, I've had a few people communicating with me recently, people I've not met before, people reaching out, via YouTube and videos or directly. And it seems in nearly all cases, what people really are looking to do, what people are really trying to learn is how to communicate using a language of the heart. Now, I know that might sound a bit mysterious, like language of the heart, that kind of sounds weird, maybe a bit new age, a bit hippie. But really what I mean is recognizing that intuitive communication that comes from this being when we're sensitive emotionally and energetically sensitive to life. See, we spend so much time up here, just in our heads, wrapped in thought, that we think that all of life can be viewed from or communicated about using concepts and ideas and thoughts. And then what we find often is that actually that it feels like it's strangling me. Those thoughts and ideas and concepts, they don't really do it. They don't really cut it when it comes to describing what life is really like. And when it comes to me trying to feel life fully, if I'm always trying to filter life through thoughts, then I'll always be giving me a very small bandwidth of awareness and availability with which to live. So, like I mentioned before, a lot of people have been kind of feeling that tension really, including myself. I felt that tension a lot in my life of there's a lot here, there's a lot going on, but I don't know how to communicate it. And it doesn't fit into the usual concepts and words and ideas or even narratives that I've used all my life. So then it opens the door and it invites us to, explore a different way of feeling and communicating and experiencing life. And this is why I kind of mention the language of the heart. So the language of the heart, it's not necessarily a spoken one. We can speak from that place, but really it's felt ultimately. It's deeply immersed in presence and being. And it's that which won't really be bound by concepts. And it's kind of our true nature, really. It's way more close, that landscape of feeling and emotion and energy. It's way more close to our true nature of being than any thought could ever come. So once we start feeling the limitations of thought and we feel the invitation of the heart and the emotion, the emotional faculty to open to life, then we start to learn the language of the heart. It's like, how can I be in the moment, even with myself, but not just with myself, with other people, and communicate from that place of emotional availability and receive other people in that place of emotional availability. Now, it's difficult. I'd say very difficult, really, because we've had an entire life of being up here, of thinking that life is a certain way, I need to be a certain way, and we can only communicate like this with words, just concepts and ideas. So, it feels almost unsafe, a little scary to let that thinking faculty go and drop into a more rich, emotional space of communication and connection. But once we start doing it, and I know a lot of people that have watched some of these videos and a lot of people that are engaged in spiritual awakening or non-duality, you will have already had a taste of this. Once you start letting go of the narrative, moving away from conceptual ways of viewing the world all the time, and start embodying this energetic being, this energetic way of living, even though it's unfamiliar at first, it's also like remembering a lost language almost. It's like remembering a natural way of living and feeling and connecting that has been available to us all our life. And you'll feel almost like an invitation to drop in and drop down into that richer way of being. So the language of the heart is, I guess, pretty much anything really, any feeling or experience or emotion that words can't touch, that words can't really encapsulate. So knowing that, we can let go of the need to find words, and we can trust just that energetic sense of feelings and emotions, shimmering energies in the body, whatever you want to call it. We start to trust that which is not bound by concepts. And the more we trust it, the more we learn that different way of living in a world. So yeah, when you hear people talking about the heart in spirituality, or just specifically the heart, it can sound a little alienating, a little confusing. Maybe you're unsure what people mean. But really, the heart is just that part of us which is sensitive and available to life. This deep part of us that's sensitive and available to life, that isn't bound by concepts, thoughts and ideas, and is like richly alive and always available. So the more you begin to trust that part of being alive, the less and less you need all of the thoughts and the ideas, the character, the narrative, because you recognize actually this thinking mind never got close to the truth of being alive. But this feeling being, this open-hearted availability, it is the truth of being alive. And you can sense that as you start trusting it. And the more you trust that feeling, the more you want to dwell in that realm of being, that realm of feeling. And you learn the language of the heart.